Okay, let's kick things off with number 5, the Nokia 9 PureView. And it's been a long time since I've recommended and been excited for a Nokia phone, but the company has really cleaned up their act with recent devices. So far though, while they're making really good phones, Nokia is playing it safe. This changes with the Nokia 9 PureView. A case leak and various renders showcase a penta camera setup. 5 cameras just on the back of the phone. We do know from the Galaxy A9 that camera quantity doesn't equate to camera quality, but we can be pretty sure it's going to grant flexibility, options to take really wide-angle shots, or maybe zoom in further than past devices. Also, close to stock software is pretty likely, and to be honest, recent Nokia phones have been some of the best built products I've used. This phone has been leaked and talked about for months already. And as of now, it's got 2 potential release dates, either February next year or December the 5th, which is in 2 weeks' time. Number 4 is the Pocophone F2. This phone doesn't need much of an introduction or even an explanation. The F1 was a category-defining smartphone, offering the same performance of $1,000 phones at a price of barely $300. I would expect the price of the F2 to drift closer to the $400 mark, but if we are looking at a Snapdragon 855, 8GB of RAM, and a 4000 plus mAh battery, then that's more than reasonable. This kind of power would come close to or even surpass the peak performance of the iPhone XS Max. I'd imagine that the body of the phone probably won't change too much, but there is a rumor that the company will ditch the IR face unlocking on the front, so that they can trim down the size of the notch. Number 3 is the Samsung Galaxy Flex. It's official, Samsung's foldable phone is very much on the way, and at their most recent developers conference, we got our closest look yet. What you're seeing is likely a prototype of this phone-tablet hybrid, but hidden in this chunky protective case so you can't see the specifics. It's got one big bold display on the inside, but also a single smaller display which can be used when close up. I don't think it's something that I would use daily, just because having a foldable phone introduces a whole series of complications of its own, with the only main benefit being this larger display when it's folded out. Which, to be honest, I'm not even sure I'd use very much, even for videos, because it'll probably drain your battery twice as fast. But this is exciting for a different reason. It's something new. We're entering uncharted territory here. You could have 2 people watching 2 different videos at the same time, or one half of the screen playing a game, while another has a video walkthrough pulled up. No doubt even better multitasking abilities, and I'm sure a whole bunch of stuff that we weren't expecting. Number 2, the Huawei P30 Pro. Which is exciting for a lot of reasons, and just to start with, we're likely to see a lot of the features that we saw on the Mate 20 Pro. So that's stuff like wireless reverse charging, 40-watt supercharging, and the ultra-wide camera lens. And according to European boss Walter G, we will definitely see more innovation in the camera. And now we have 3, imagine 4 for next year. He goes on to talk about why you might want this, and he kind of implies that the company isn't happy with the current limit of 5 times lossless zoom, and that they're going to aim for 10. I've put together this concept here, which shows how the camera module might look. Since they're adding 1 extra camera module from the Mate 20, they may well also add a second flash to keep the module rectangular. Not to mention also light your face more evenly. The only potential downside is that the phone will be powered by the Kirin 980, which is very specialized for AI-based tasks, but in terms of raw CPU and GPU power, looks like it's going to fall behind the Qualcomm and Exynos equivalents. Also, probably no 5G, because this isn't already built into the chip, and as it is, Huawei is having a pretty tough time selling to US markets, and the US is one of the few areas that will start to get some sort of 5G coverage in 2019. So that leaves us with number 1, the Samsung Galaxy S10. And I've been looking forward to this phone well before the Note 9 came out, and I have covered it in more detail in a separate video which you can find somewhere above, but essentially these are the main points. A larger display with no notch, but instead this little camera cutout they call Infinity O. the new Exynos 9820 chip, which will bring no end of improvements not just to performance and graphics, but also the camera and its slow motion capabilities. I'm also really hoping for a night mode, because if you could combine something like that with Samsung's already pretty good variable aperture, you could have night photos that even leapfrog the Pixel 3. As long as they're generous with the battery capacity, I think it may well be the phone to go for in the first half of 2019. Okay, so those are 5 really exciting smartphones to look forward to in 2019, and of course I didn't manage to include all of them in this video, so if you do want to see a follow-up, let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.